Anna, the pretty shepherd, and today I am here to mention some unmentionables. That's right, today I am here to dive into folkloric underwear, if there even is underwear to be talked of. I mean, did they even wear underwear? Okay, for start, up until the early to mid 20th century, peasants definitely did not wear underwear as we know it today. What? Yes, that's right. Less than 100 years ago, and there's no bras or panties to be heard of. But Anna, the fashion of the 1920s and the 30s, and especially the 40s, had a variety of modern underwear to choose from, ranging from silks through rayons and cottons and knits. Well, yes, but remember, in remote villages, especially in Transylvania, fashion did not travel at the same speed or pace as it did in the fancy, fashionable French magazines. Village people of the 1950s were still happily wearing hand-woven and homespun goods, so silken knickers were mostly a luxury of city people. In all honesty, I must add though, I have found some spoken records of sweet old grannies who have lived through the world wars. They did mention that they started wearing some sort of short-legged underpants, but only out of necessity, as they had to wear pants when they took on jobs and chores previously done by men. Now, to be fair, the concept of underwear may refer to a lot more than just panties. So basically, this is underwear, and so are these. And this. In a sense, the layer that is worn closest to the skin is technically underwear, which in the case of peasant women would be shirts and petticoats. But Anna, what about drawers? No, not those. I mean, bloomers, pantalettes, combinations. That sort of thing. Oh yeah, I see where you're coming from. I mean, for about a century, it would be the undergarment of choice for any respectable woman of the bourgeoisie and above. But yeah, peasants didn't really wear that. Okay, fine. There are a handful of mentions and surviving garments that fall into the category of drawers split down in the middle, especially in geographical areas where the climate demanded a little bit of extra insulation under the skirts. But they were barely worn for a couple of decades at the beginning of the 20th century, and not everywhere, and definitely not by everyone. Case in point, around this time, the first half of the 20th century, we have the first records of traditional folk dance groups emerging. Dance masters of the time would gather the youth of a particular village and would take them to perform on stage in various events in nearby places. Now, one such village filled with prolific young dancers was Învârtita, and we have a record of their dance master being reprimanded because his dancers were so much so convinced that underwear is optional that, I quote, "You could see all the way up to their navels." Yeah, and this happened in the 1950s, mind you. No cap.
Hi, Editing Shepherd here, just popping in to ask you all, did this information come as a shock to you? I mean, I know a lot of you watching are part of the historical costuming community, but then again, most of the information available in English only tackles city fashion and not really folklore. And that really leaves me wondering how much of a shocker this particular piece of peasant trivia is to you. So please let me know in a comment below. I don't even know what to expect because my audience is so amazingly diverse. So I'm just like really curious. Please let me know. Okay, thanks, bye. Back to the video.
So then, what did the dance master do to his navel-tastic dancers? He introduced them to the concept of what we today call the small petticoat. Hi, I'm a shouty shepherd, and today I am here to ask you, has this ever happened to you? Oh no, my navel was showing. Did you get that? No. Cut. Well then, you're in need of the revolutionary, new and improved Smol Petti. That's right, it's the secret, not so secret, undergarment of folk dancers. Whenever your skirt spins, hide your navel with the revolutionary, new and improved Smol Petti. While dancing in a barn surrounded by friends on a ground level, will keep your navel visually concealed. The same dance performed on an elevated stage can give a spicy view to all spectators. So choose a revolutionary, new and improved Smol Petti to keep your decency at almost all levels.
According to independent clinical studies, revolutionary, new and improved Smol Petti will only conceal your navel 99.9% of possible angles.
As a bonus, revolutionary, new and improved Smol Petti is also useful when tucking your skirt. I sure am happy that my navel isn't showing. Wonderful, but you know what else is still showing? My graph. Oh, you cheeky little thing. That's right. Only this many of all people watching PrettyShepherd content are subscribed to this channel. So subscribe for more family-friendly, navel-free, folksy content. The PrettyShepherd loves nothing more than people who are already subscribed to this channel. And she even calls them her darling, sweet little loves upon occasion. And for that alone, I'd subscribe in a heartbeat. And if you're done subscribing, don't forget to order now to get your very own revolutionary, new and improved Smol Petti for all your navel needs. Cause hey, I might be a sleazy man who really likes navels, but I like money even more. So don't hesitate and order now! Oh wow, I gotta give it to you. You were right on time with this particular inFOLKmercial. What can I say? I go where I'm needed. That you do! Okay, anyway, I think maybe I'm also in need of one of these small petticoats. Well, you're in luck, just order now! No thanks. Actually, I just so happen to have the perfect fabric for it in my stash. So let's go and make a Smol Petti the easiest way that there is to make one.
Ever since I thrifted this embroidered fabric, I knew I had to turn it into a fun and colorful Smol Petti. Most older Smol petticoats are much more plain though, and will often have a trapezoid shape achieved by stitching panels together. But I'm going to take the easier and more modern route of a basic cylindrical shape. I don't know what it was supposed to be, if it was ever supposed to be something in particular, I don't know. I'm going to start by unpicking this seam right over here. Now that that's done, I'm going to cut this fabric in half, put them right sides together and just stitch down one of the seams. Now that I have the seam, I'm just going to wrap it around my body. I'm just going to cut over here and just stitch the ends together. I'm going to create a French seam just to hide everything. So that means wrong sides together, stitch down, turn it to right sides and stitch down again. With that seam line finished, it is now time to create the channel for the elastic waistband.
Oh, and by the way, just before sewing machines became a very common item in villages, women would hand stitch a multitude of eyelets at the top of the petticoat to add drawstring into it and tie it around their waist in an easily adjustable way. Remember, peasants were all about creating garments that lasted for decades, even if their body changed. But the true reason why I'm bringing up these hand-sewn eyelets made me want to pour bleach over my eyes. Thank you, Rooster. I totally agree. But instead of blinding myself, I'll do the next best thing and share the disturbing fun fact with you as well. In our communal pain, perhaps you can help me bear it. And if you don't want to be scarred for life, then skip ahead 10 seconds. Ready? They called the eyelets hen's butts. No, not even that. The translation is more like hen's. So enjoy the disturbing mental image that you and I will now forever have whenever we see a beautifully hand-stitched eyelet. Anyway, moving on with the sewing.
I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. Now all that's left is to add the elastic. And that's it. Time to try it on.
Okay, I really love how this turned out, and it was such an easy and quick little project to be able to use up a bit of my fabric stash. Not that this even makes a dent in my dragon's hoard. I've also realized that I have a handful of modern clothes that will benefit greatly from wearing a small petty underneath them, such as this vintage dress from the 70s that is way too see-through and spicy without some extra underwear. Or this tulle-like skirt, which, let's be honest, hardly even qualifies as an outer skirt garment thing without something underneath it. I really adore that I'll be able to wear this even in ways in which I can show it off a tad more than if it were hidden under 3 layers of skirts and various petticoats. And who knows, maybe I'll venture out in a fit where I'll style it as a skirt front and center. And that leaves me wondering, where do you stand when it comes to wearing underwear as outerwear? Would you wear it like that? Or maybe just wear it for its original navel shielding purpose? Whichever way you'd incorporate it into your outfit, please let me know in a comment if you'd make one of these for you to wear. Outerwear, underwear, for you to wear or not. Maybe you like showing off your navel. Oh, you cheeky little thing. Right? And with that, I'll be off to do anything other than Handsewn Eyelets. Bye-bye!